Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we are talking about your friendly neighborhood cybersecurity team because we're all getting burned out. There's a lot of truth in this. This is coming from Owen Hughes of ZDNet, and quite frankly, I think everybody needs to hear this. Now, here's what's going on. According to Owen Hughes of ZDNet, a global study of 1,100 cybersecurity professionals by Mimecast, you might know them as the spam filter, found that 1/3 are actually considering leaving their role in the next 2 years due to stress and burnout. That is incredibly alarming for basically our field here that is already overwhelmed and understaffed. Now, the report found that rising rates of cybercrime and mounting media attention around cyber attacks are placing intense pressure on cybersecurity teams, with many fearing that they're going to lose their jobs as a result of a cyber attack, and others are basically just struggling to cope with all of the strain and the stress. Now, Mimecast also said that security teams face, and I quote, a pressure cooker of ongoing attacks, disruption, and burnout, end quote, that is making it even more difficult to attract and retain much needed cybersecurity professionals, basically that are keeping everything and everyone secure. Now, speaking to ZDNet, Johan Dreyer, basically he is the CTO of Mimecast, for Europe and Middle East, said that the impact of understaffed IT security teams would have a domino effect on IT teams across the whole sector unless action is taken to address these issues across basically the industry. Now, nearly 2/3, or 64% of cybersecurity leaders surveyed by Mimecast said they had experienced at least one ransomware attack in the last year. 77% said the number of cyber attacks against their company had either increased or stayed the same since 2021. Now, these attacks have had personal consequences for well-being of cybersecurity professionals. Mimecast found that more than half, 54% of respondents agreed that ransomware attacks had negative impacts on their mental health, while 56% reported that the role gets more stressful every year. Now, 1/3 of these teams reported an increased number of burnout-related absences. In addition, 34% of cybersecurity leaders reported difficulties in recruiting IT staff once an attack has taken place, making it even more difficult for organizations to prevent incidents in the future, meaning you need more bodies, you're not getting them because nobody wants to walk into your hot mess. Now, the growth of cybercrime is also driving media interest in the subject, upping the ante for organizations who find themselves in the spotlight. More than half of leaders, 53% surveyed by Mimecast, agreed that the growing press coverage obviously is basically giving increased pressure to prepare to thwart these things. Now, despite this, Mimecast says that there are signs that cybersecurity teams often, quote, lack the basics when it comes to attack prevention, end quote. When asked what additional resources they need to prevent and prepare for cyber attacks, almost half of cybersecurity leaders said they need to update their security systems. That was 46%, and an additional 46% cited better IT security awareness training for both end users and all types of employees as well. Now, accountability might be another barrier to basically greater cybersecurity awareness, because Mimecast found that IT security leaders felt less personally accountable when an attack succeeds. 57% reported they would feel very responsible in the event of a ransomware attack, compared to 71%. Meaning, are we passing the buck? Are we burned out? There is a lot to unpack here, but I think the bottom line is this is absolutely right. I think this is essentially what we are seeing. One, according to an ISC2 report earlier this year, we are down in the cybersecurity alone something like 72 million bodies worldwide, and everybody's hacking everybody right now. And so it is exhausting. I consult with businesses on cybersecurity. I consult with IT directors, CIOs, CISOs, and all of that. And I hear this a lot. There's a lot of frustration in hiring. There's a lot of frustration, of basically being able to train, retain, maintain, these individuals that are new employees, not to mention, just budgets for cybersecurity. A lot of executives, especially non-technical ones, do not understand or really quantify the risk. Basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. When we are innovating in cybersecurity in a way standard technology tends not to innovate, because we never know when that 15-year-old kid's going to break Google. We have to pivot on a dime and figure out what on earth just happened and then come up with a new defense for our organizations. Not to mention the fact I've been involved in an absolute ton of data breaches because we get that call. Oh my God, Nick, help. I've never worked with you, but I listen to your radio show. I've seen you on stage, whatever it is. Please help. And so we get thrown into a lot of these. They are stressful for everybody. It's one of the worst days in somebody's business life. And so, yes, yes, this is a very stressful and time-consuming job. There is a lot of burnout in this as well. It can be exhausting, and everybody needs cybersecurity help. We're in high demand right now, and there's not enough of us to go around. So, like I say to my audiences, if you want your kid in college basically to get a really good paying job and get off your couch as soon as they're done, put them into cybersecurity. We need all the help we can get. And even if they suck, they're going to get hired right now because, quite frankly, we're going to train them, we're going to retain them. We're hopefully going to maintain them as well. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at Nick AESP. Oh, and buy your local IT and cybersecurity professionals a drink, by the way. I'm pretty sure we have our own wing in Alcoholics Anonymous at this point, just basically with all the burnout and everything. But I think it's important. So do that as well. And feel free to follow me on YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, don't burn out, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.